first question niya, ako yung intro. Okay, sige na. Sir, we are live, sir. Okay, good afternoon. An interview with OCD9 Regional Director, Attorney Ruel Halanes, regarding this 7.8 magnitude earthquake that struck off Mindanao. Sir, good afternoon, Attorney.
Yeah, good afternoon everyone. Isang ligtas na hapon po sa ating lahat, no? This is not new to us. Initially, nagkaroon tayo ng initial information by PBOX that is a magnitude 7.0, but after na ma-collate and ma-correlate lahat ng mga instrumental data ni PBOX, it totaled around magnitude 7.8 na lindol, around 7:37, and then based sa binigay na primer ni PBOX, positive po tayo na ang naging earthquake generator niya is the Cotabato Trench, which is also the one na kung maalala ninyo, the 1976 Morogoro na around 7.9. So ito lang po, siya rin ang gumalaw, and then kung makikita nyo ngayon, around at max more than magnitude 6 din yung binibigay niya na aftershocks. Based doon sa current namin na monitoring and meeting, more than 150 aftershocks na ngayon yung nakikita natin. So kung titingnan natin, this is offshore, meaning nasa dagat at around 33 depth. Shallow siya to consider given sa lakas niya, kaya nag-generate ito ng tsunami. No? In fact, nung nag-release tayo ng tsunami warning, according to Pag-asa at Sarangani or in Kiamba Municipality, after the official tsunami warning, around 5 minutes, dumating na yung unang wave. No? So dito sa Zamboanga Peninsula, particularly in Region 9, may naitala tayo mga less than a meter kasi meron tayong instrument dyan sa Zamboanga City. Pero generally makikita natin na na-witness talaga natin yung pag-recede. No? Yung sinasabi natin na one sign of having a tsunami, yung biglang baba ng tubig. So we are monitoring na umangat siya and then centimeter of it. So yun po ang na-experience natin. But generally, in terms of lifelines, bridges, roads, wala hong significant na reported damage in Zamboanga Peninsula. Though we are monitoring, meron tayong mga light materials houses that collapsed in Barangay Bomba in Pagadian City. So ang naging focus natin after natin magbigay nung initial na information is yung massive evacuation talaga kasi kasagsagan unang araw ng pasukan. So yan po yung initial info na nakita natin, particularly in Zamboanga Peninsula Region 9.
Ano mga intensity na feel sa sur, norte, Zamboanga City?
Yeah, ang so far based sa instrument and felt intensity, makikita natin because direct proximate siya. Zamboanga City has recorded around intensity 5. And then the rest, tayo dito, intensity 2 to 3. Pero kung titingnan mo talaga, destructive yung naging pinaka, niya is around intensity 7 kung doon ka sa Jensen. In that intensity 7, very destructive na yan. Kung naglalakad ka, kaya ka na itumba yan. So, nakunod, hindi naman tayo umabot sa ganyan. Pero na-feel natin, kaya nga, di ba, yung karakter nung pagyanig, hindi siya wavy, but rather para tayong dinidribble na mahina. Dahil nga, napakalapit natin sa epicenter or yung focus mismo nung magnitude 7.8 na lindol.
Kasi na shallow earthquake, gano'n ba
Scientifically, matatawag natin siyang shallow kasi 33 kilometers yung depth niya kung titingnan. Pero for others, pwede rin sabihin, depende kasi siya sa assessment pero kung titingnan mo dahil sa lakas niya, that is 7.8. In fact, parang ano yan siya ngayon makikita natin na so far yan yung pinakamalakas natin for this year. So matatawag talaga nating disastrous siya and shallow earthquake.
Do you think related ito dun sa earthquake swarm na nangyari sa Sultan Kudarat?
Yeah, that is a very good observation because even PBOX, I will be quoting our scientist PBOX Sevilla. Very potent and active kasi yung ating Cotabato Trench. In fact, kung maalala nyo yung seismic swarming or last January na nangyayari, yes, very related yan. Magkakasama yung area na yan. In fact, dyan yun sa area na yan, gumalaw siya. So, meaning, yan yung kinaklasify sa atin ni PBOX na na-consider nila as active fault talaga itong Cotabato.
So, posibleng warning sign ba yung swarm?
Hindi kasi natin nasasabing warning kasi in science talagang lahat ito gumagalaw, but the definite term, the scientific term is active fault. So kaya sinasabi sa atin ni PBOX sa prior on that incident or prior this incident that those swarming are considered valid considering na yung Cotabato Trench is an active fault. Pero kung sasabihin natin na warning, hindi rin siya scientifically na masasabi kasi kapag nagsasabi ka warning, you are determining na pwede mangyari where in fact lahat naman yan na monitor natin. Pero kung titingnan mo, talagang nagpapakita siya ng correlation na it is very active considering na nagkaroon nga siya ng malakas na pagyanig ngayon which is 7.8.
Sir, ano yung mga ginawa sa OCD to pag ganitong mga sitwasyon?
Yeah, that's a good question. Una, pinaghandaan na natin to. Almost every quarter, we've been saying yung national or nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill. We've been providing so much assistance to the LGU. Nung humanig, syempre, the first recourse in safety is to secure ourselves. That is a safety first principle naman. So, perform the dock cover and hold and then determine natin yung lakas. Naka-standby agad tayo sa mga official advisory communication. Where in fact, minomonitor natin even yung ating mga foreign counterparts na nagbibigay sa atin ng warnings. Nung nakita nga natin na somewhere in Mindanao yung naging source, heads up, what is welcoming on our end is we operate on alternative platform, cellphone, radio station. Kaya nung nakita natin na ito yung intensity, we expect agad na magkakaroon ito ng tsunami warning dahil nga offshore. Alam natin, kapag yung lindol around magnitude 6.5 and above, it has a tsunami-genic characteristic, meaning magkikreate talaga siya ng tsunami. Lalo na ito, 7.8. Kaya nung lumabas yung tsunami warning, as early as that, tinawagan natin, I personally called with my staff, yung ating DILG counterpart, mga LGU, Speedream OS, kasi yung kailangan natin ma-secure is una, yung evacuation ng ating coastal communities, particularly yung mga coastal schools. But what we emphasize is a guided and organized evacuation kasi ayaw natin na magkaroon ng challenges or hiccups during evacuation.
Sir, yung kanina, may mga unusual movements yung dagat, particularly dito sa Pagadian City. Technically, anong tawag doon? Matatawag ba yung tsunami din?
Actually, tsunami, there are early symptoms. Yun nga, yung roaring sound kung meron. Pero yung biglaang pag-atras ng tubig, that is a very indicia talaga na may tsunami. Kasi pagkatapos yan, babalik yung pagtaas ng tubig. And based ni Feebox, talagang nagkaroon tayo ng tsunami. Pero at the very height, siguro nasa 1 meter and above based na sa mga instrumental. Sa atin naman in Region 9, less than a meter or a centimeter. Pero at least yung receding na nakita natin, that is an indication na nagkaroon talaga ng tsunami. And validly for this particular earthquake, as pronounced by Feebox, we have a tsunami. And even dun sa makikita natin na tsunami cancellation, nandun makikita natin ano yung mga areas na nagkaroon talaga ng tsunami.
Sir, nakakabahala lang kasi despite the so many trainings and mga orientations na binibigay natin up to the barangay level, kanina, nung may ganung event na unusual movement ng tubig ng dagat, imbes na mag-evacuate ang karamihan, ang dami masyadong pumunta sa tabi ng dagat para mag-reels. Any comment on that?
Yeah. Saan ba yung bumabalik? Una, we admit that is also a call again for the government, lalo na sa Office of Civil Defense, sa local government units na we do not settle only na may plan tayo, nakapag-conduct tayo ng training because time and again, even nga yung basic execution ng dock cover and hold, nakikita pa rin natin, di ba? Yung mga children natin, buti nga, hindi naman siguro buti, nataon na most of the schools we've been monitoring nasa outdoor dahil nagkakaroon ng flag ceremony. And then, nung nagbigay naman tayo ng evacuation command, yun nga, namomonitor natin, no? Yung iba, pumupunta or binibidyohan pa kasi they themselves also wanted to have to experience at hand. Pero kung titingnan mo at the safety precaution, hindi talaga siya valid and legitimate. Kasi kung sudden yan, halimbawa, yung nangyari sa Sarangani na biglang dating agad yung first wave around 5 minutes. So, yan yung call ngayon sa mga barangay leaders. Kasi dati kapag nagsasabi kami na yung tsunami biglang muhubas or magre-recede, parang iniisip pa lang nila. Ngayon na nakita nila, binibidyo pa nga. In fact, may nakausap ako na mga leaders, sabi, totoo pala talaga. Ngayon, ang challenge natin, paano natin yan ibalik sa community, and it boils down the political will ng ating mga leaders, and syempre yung karampatan na kalaman ng community. Kasi yun nga yung sabi namin sa Office of Civil Defense, preparedness is only good or specific to earthquake kung naiintindihan ng community. So yung mga yon na pupunta doon, gusto mag-reels, they have their own interpretation, but definitely kailangan natin i-follow through yan. Kaya after this, we want to reiterate the guidance na talagang gawin nyo seryoso yung pagkakaroon ng evacuation. Another thing na gusto ko rin i-emphasize, kasi pag nagbigay tayo ng evacuation, hindi lang yan simple na suspension of classes and work. Kailangan evacuation for a safe refuge. Kinancel mo nga yung mga klase or trabaho, pero pag umuwi naman yan, yung mga bahay nandun naman nearby to the coastal, di ba? Hindi rin magiging safe. Kaya yun yung sinasabi namin during our advisory na kapag nagkaroon kayo ng evacuation, see to it na guided ito. Huwag nyo lang i-cancel din kanya-kanya na, but rather secure on a higher place.
Ardy, yun pong umakyat na sa 90, no, ang namatay.
Yeah.
7.8 magnitude na in Lucas Mindanao. How about sa imong AR? Sa Region 9, wala yung naka-record yan.
So far, wala. And we don't want also to have that record, no? General, tama yon. We have recorded so far 19 and most likely 124 na mga injured, no? Yan yung national statistics natin. And then we are still monitoring and validating that. But for Region 9 so far, for the provinces of Zamboanga del Sur, Sibugay, Norte, Sulu, and Isabela City and Zamboanga City, wala ho tayo na record. Ang meron lang tayo na record so far is nagkaroon ng pagbagsak ng 6 na bahay sa Barangay Bomba. But practically, based doon sa coordination natin with the CTDRM office, wala naman itong casualty. And these are all part of light materials, partially submerged na talaga itong bahay na to. So, it can be triggered, una, nung pagyanig ng lupa, and then nung pagbiglang bulusok ng tubig pabalik, kaya nagkaroon ng ganang instance. But generally, casualties, injured, missing, wala ho tayong naitala in the area of Region 9 or Zamboanga Peninsula.
Sir, for the record lang, yung 6 na bahay dun sa Barangay Bomba, are those mga houses on stilts?
Yeah, paano ba dinidefine natin yung stilts? Yung mga hindi naman siguro ba, kahoy. Because I saw it in the picture, kaya tinanong ko ano yung made of light materials ba siya. Yes, definitely. Nandun siya, and then partially submerged na even kapag nag-high tide. So, nagkaroon lang ng triggered ngayon kasi una, niyayanig yan, and then yung pagpasok ng tubig.
Ang good news ngayon is cancellation of tsunami cancellation.
Yeah.
So, assured na ba ang lahat ng mga
We cannot say assured because kung titingnan mo yung experience natin with Davao, kailan ba yun na nagkaroon ng doublet earthquake? Diba? Halos magkasabay na main shocks, and then naging main shocks ulit yung kapila, but they have produced a similar instance or magnitude. So dito sa atin, yung kinancel lang, kaya sabi nga ni Feebox sa cancellation niya, this cancellation is only good with a previous warning. So mag-iingat pa rin tayo sa sinasabi nating aftershocks, makiramdam pa rin tayo kasi hindi natin kontrolado yan. And alam natin kapag may mga ganyan na movement, we're expecting hundreds or even thousands of aftershocks. Currently, namomonitor ni Feebox as of reporting time kanina, nag-meeting kami, around 150 to 160 na yung aftershocks ranging from magnitude 1 to magnitude 6. So malalakas pa rin.
So, pwede magkabalagay po itong mga areas?
Yeah, pwede talaga kung magkaroon na naman ng advice si Feebox. Depende sa magiging advisory.
Sir, mag-resume na lang yung klase bukas ng pagkagayan. Pero do you think there's a need to check yung mga school buildings, yung integrity ng mga school buildings bago mag-resume ng klase?
Yeah, automatic yan. Kanina nung sabi ko nga, yung mga hindi affected, hindi mga coastal, we have monitored na nagkaroon agad ng building and structural audit assessment kasi very critical yan. Hindi lang simpleng tapos na yung evacuation, titingnan natin yung stability. Sa atin naman, kung generally speaking, magnitude or intensity 2 to 3, hindi siya ganun ka-disastrous. Though mafe-feel mo talaga, lalo na kapag nasa high areas ka. But generally ngayon, like for example, Zamboanga City, very good, efficient yung action ng city doon. And even in Isabela City, they immediately deploy their teams para sa structural audit. Ngayon, discretion na yan, magiging counterpart kasi may tinatawag tayong DRM focals para kung nakita nila na hindi and viable and safe to proceed naman yung ating works and classes, then immediately they can proceed with the classes.
So, maliban sa Pagadian, how about sa Region 9, no?
Yeah.
Na mga area, wala na bang peligro sa tingin ninyo?
As of the moment, wala na. Kasi kanina, nung titingnan mo yung warning, it covers 3 provinces sa amin.
Yeah.
Zamboanga, Sibugay, Del Sur, and Sulu. Pero nung tumawag kami, dahil very proximate yung District 3 ng Zamboanga del Norte, pinapamonitor ko na rin yung mga coastal. And generally, we agree, yung iba nga, na-feel nila and then they look into their situation and generally fine naman. Yung mga roads and bridges natin, kasi usually, ganyan din yung magiging instance yan. Landslide, wala rin tayo reported. Though may mga paunti-unti tayo nare-receive, like example, mga minor cracks and damages, and that is very usual kasi part na rin yan ng parang trigger dun sa mga facilities. But generally, in Region 9, we can say that we are all safe with that magnitude 7.8. Harinawa, wag nang masundan or magkaroon pa ng ganun kasi we are still on the recuperation stage. And the center ngayon na tinitingnan natin, we reported so much damages is so far in Region 12 and Region 11.
So, i-clarify ko lang, sir, may tsunami nangyari pero hindi gaanong kalaki.
Yeah. Technically, on the science side and the official pronouncement of PBOX, there is a tsunami, but kung titingnan mo yung height niya, like for example, yung taas o yung mga madalas sigurong ini-imagine natin, it doesn't reach their level, and we are lucky enough kasi para sa atin, yun din yung magiging refuge natin para hindi magkaroon ng malaking tawag nito, danyos. No?
Same ba sa ibang lugar ng Region 9, like sa nangyari sa Pagadian na nagtaas?
Yeah, we are monitoring in District 2 in Pitugo. We are also monitoring somewhere in Sibugay na talaga nag-receive. Yun yung una talagang napansin nila. So, makikita mo naman kasi sabay-sabay na nagkakaroon na report. So, at least, even in Payao, kausap ko mismo yung mayor and yung Eldrim kanina kasi bumisita din. First hand talaga na nakita yung biglang baba ng tubig and then bumalik siya na medyo may kataasan. But again, to emphasize, that tsunami waves or the height of waves doesn't correspond na magkaroon siya ng significant damage or worthy to be considered na makakaroon ng impact doon sa community.
How do you assess yung disaster preparedness ng mga LGUs sa region na yun? Are they prepared ba sila to manage kapag sakaling tumama isang massive earthquake?
Technically, by paper and on document, masasabi natin na prepared ito kasi may napapakita naman during assessment. Lalo na itong coastal in relation with earthquake and tsunami. And ngayon, naging ano din talaga ito, test talaga sa kanila because what we are emphasizing is their efficiency on the evacuation. Nakita natin yung massive yung movement. And also from our end, we are also testing our capability. And so far, we've managed to communicate all the provinces. Nakasagot naman, naka-establish ng communication, naka-provide ng feedback. So generally, for this particular instance, we able to expect, we've managed to execute what is supposedly to be done. Hindi ko lang masasabi kung medyo nag-progress yung magiging impact niya. For example, kung nagkaroon tayo ng glitch on the telecommunication kasi isa yan sa considerations natin. But for this particular instance, we can say that the LGUs, the local chief executives of Zamboanga Peninsula were able to ace their preparation and able to implement what is supposedly to be done. But again, I cannot speak on how the practical side on the way they handle the evacuation, the provision of so many things. But again, based doon sa reported natin na wala tayong casualties, wala tayong mga major significant damages, then we can say na equitable din naman siya dun sa natanggap natin or share of the damage or share of the impact of the earthquake.
Pero there's room for improvement.
Yeah, practically. Maraming room for improvement yan. Lalo yung nakikita sa atin nung tinanong kanina, naiimbis yung mga tao aalis dun sa area, sinasalubong, bit-bit yung mga cellphone nila and they are all excited. So, that's kailangan nating baguhin. No? And minsan kasi sa risk communication, hindi lang yan simpleng pagsasabi na may tsunami, bababa yung tubig, but rather we need also to imagine maybe a scenario-based approach na ito yung itsura kapag sinalubong nyo yan. So, yan yung tinitingnan namin na kailangan nating i-improve, lalo na dun sa community level.
Sir, kaandam, for example, kung sakaling worst yung mangyari, ready ba yung mga assistance, relief assistance?
Yeah, DSWD is very upkeep on that. In fact, ngayon, naka-standby na kasi kami. Meron na rin kaming mga teams na dineploy for Region 11 and 12. So we have that concept of assisting region, whole of government, whole of society. So ngayon naka-standby kami for possible augmentation. Kung tayo naman ang tamaan, we have strategic locations and prepositions of our NFI. Same with the LGUs. So again, it's only matter of how we implement, and that readiness will always correspond doon sa degree and intensity ng damage. Kasi kapag sinabi natin na ito yung preparedness natin, it always correspond to the scenario that we are thinking of. Pero kung yung scenario is nag-debate or hindi, na-overwhelm tayo, then most likely magiging uphill climb talaga yung preparation. But again, tayo naman sa government, ang lagi nating consideration on our preparation is the so-called worst case scenario. And that by worst case scenario, what we are telling is not only the historical data that happened, but rather in counterpart na yung mga tinatawag nating intensification. Kasi kapag nag-dwell lang tayo doon sa historical data preparation natin as our worst case scenario, then ultimately, ang maririnig na lang natin, first time tayo nagkaroon ng ganito, first time na naka-experience, yet every science, every forecast model suggests na pwede talaga mangyari na ganito. So, challenge na lang ngayon sa local government units and siyempre sa amin din kung paano namin yan i-funnel in a efficient at the same time responsive.
So, ini-expect na ng PBOX or ng government agencies itong massive earthquake na i-generate ng Cotabato Trench.
Yeah,
Pero
kasi
nagkaroon pa rin ng casualties. Do you think nagkaroon ng failure sa preparedness?
hindi naman siguro failure yan kasi everything natural occurrence. But PBOX, in fairness sa mga sa kanila is they are saying na capable talaga to generate massive tsunami itong Cotabato Trench. Kaya nga 'di ba yan yung sinasabi nila sa amin. Ang casualty kasi hindi lang yan factor ng preparedness on a one side. It always involved the citizen side. Plus yung sinasabi natin na time element and readiness na personal na nasa atin. Pero kung titingnan mo naman siya with that magnitude 7.8, talagang makikita mo na government is doing better and doing good. Lalo na ngayon, currently our national government upon the directive of the president nandun na agad sa baba and we are assessing and all our capability are all enhanced deck tapos kung ano yung pangailangan. Again, di kasi kaya talaga nating kontrolin or kayang kontrolin. At the very least, kaya nating i-simulate, kaya nating tingnan yung potential impact, but on the other side, papasok pa rin yung self-discipline at the same time, yung self-preparedness natin in terms of asking number of casualties.
Is there a need to reassess yung integrity ng mga old buildings specifically?
Matagal nang ginagawa natin yan. In fact, we have so many reiteration on that kasi that's under the purview of the local government. Ngayon, lalo pa talagang ma-appreciate nila yan. Kasi like example, there is a one school there and accordingly, yung school na yan talaga matagal na tinamaan ng lindol due for demolition na siya. Kaya hindi na nagkaroon ng casualty kasi hindi na siya ginagamit. So, meaning assessment of that area or yung team assigned to assess that building is functioning kasi na-declare niya na supposedly hindi na talaga ginagamit. Or else, kung ginamit nila yun, magkakaroon talaga tayo ng challenge. The rest, papasok na dyan ngayon yung magiging role natin on the buildings. Kasi yun naman yung sabi sa atin in science, what kills us is not the shaking of the earth, but rather yung ating mga tinatayo ng mga facilities and structures.
Sir, kumusta yung training natin sa mga barangay? Nag-anak po ba kayo, sir?
Yeah, madalas kami nagkakaroon ng mga barangay. In fact, sabi nga namin medyo na paaga because on June 18 is our second quarter nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill and we will be having that on the regional level in Sulu, particularly in the municipality of Maimbong. And very timely, reinforcing siya kasi we will be doing their barangay, bumababa na kami sa barangay. We don't want na yung magiging simulation and trainings natin naka-angkla lang sa mga munisipyo, eskwelahan. So ngayon, it is cascaded at the level of the barangay and hopefully mas ma-appreciate ito sa barangay kasi lately or recently na-feel talaga nila na pwede talaga mangyari sa kanila.
Required ba sa barangay, sir? Each barangay meron talagang BDRRMC?
By operation of law, there should be a barangay DRM committee under the Barangay Development Council. They have their own fund that is 5% of their fund and required talaga. Ngayon, yan yung pinupukusan natin with our local DRM officers kasi dapat binibigyan din sila ng guidance or tawag namin, they should be towing the line para mabigyan and dapat yung mga barangay DRM plan na yan, yun yung basis nila to utilize their resources, it should be aligned with the municipal. So kung ako, nasa munisipyo ako or barangay A ako na nandun talaga yung potential impact na earthquake and tsunami, that will be my focus in preparation. And that will be the role now of the local government unit by municipality or kung city man yan or province or even from us to capacitate. So yan yung ginagawa din natin. So yun yung parang tinatawag natin na reinforcing of our preparation coming from the barangay, not only the barangay but at the individual level papunta sa regional level.
Sir, in addition to that, kumusta yung coordination ninyo ng LGU Pagadian, especially the City Disaster Risk Reduction Management Office kay Engineer Vince with this incident, sir?
Yeah, very welcoming because alam naman natin ngayon the City of Pagadian for this particular year nag-beef up na talaga sila doon sa CTDRM risk reduction nila. They created a dedicated office on that and they managed to appoint people. So in fairness naman, mabilis nakasagot and then nabigyan agad and then currently nung nagkaroon din ng mga actions on the ground, nag-feedback din. Same with the provinces natin no na nasagot naman tayo and then they have also monitoring mechanism. So, yan yung magandang appreciation natin ngayon coming from their end kung paano din nila i-enhance yung coordination. Because sa mga ganito, time is of the essence, di ba? Kung bibigyan natin ng DY yung nangyari doon sa Sarangani and Jansan, only a matter of 5 minutes, there will be life at stake kung hindi natin na-disseminate as early as that.
So, both LGU Pagadian and LGU Sambuanga del Sur are functioning.
Yeah, Pagadian na-contact natin lahat yan. In fact, we are monitoring that the province now is having an urgent meeting and then yung city LGU naman ng Pagadian natin is on top of the situation. They come up with the incident command post somewhere in C3. So, that's all manifestation na they do their homework, meron din silang bases and then everything will follow. Total na sa kanila naman din yung baton and the resources.
So, monitoring lang yung
Yeah, on top of the monitoring, augmentation. Kasi tinitingnan din natin yung kakayahan. Tayo naman, hindi na tayo nag-aantay na hihingin. No? Tinatanong agad natin. In fact, every time na magkaroon ng ganitong situation, una namin dinidetermine ano yung possible nyo na kailangan na hindi kayang i-address at your level at the province na pwede sa region. So, yan naman yung laging guidance sa atin ng ating Presidente.
Okay. Okay na?
Okay, sir. Baka meron kang additional information na hindi namin naitanong sa'yo.
Yeah, siguro ang gusto ko lang balikan na yung the power and hold principle natin is very applicable. Pero kapag ganito talaga na malalakas yung lindol, halimbawa intensity 7, yung kaya kang ibagsak while naglalakad or kaya kang ilaglag while natutulog, tapos nasa coastal communities ka. Do not wait for any advisory or may kakalabit sa pumunta agad or safely evacuate to higher ground. So, wag nang magatubili pang kumuha ng cellphone para i-video. Tingnan pa kung talaga bang bumaba yung tubig or tanungin yung kapitbahay na talaga bang lumindol because that is already holy hour, no? Holy minute. So, gawin natin yan, i-practice natin yan. And then, kahit hindi tayo nakatira sa mga coastal area, dapat may ganun tayong knowledge because we go different places. So, kung saan tayo abutan, at least alam natin. So, yung lindol kahit sabihin pa natin na may nagsabi dyan, may nag-post dyan na magkakaroon ng ganyan, never pa po na may na-invento or even people that can predict. Ang sinasabi lang ng science sa atin na we have so much trenches or active faults in Philippines per se na pwedeng magbigay sa atin ng malalakas na lindol. And good for now, meron tayong Cotabato Trench na kaya mag-generate ng malalaking tsunami. So, eto po yan ang magiging logic natin. Hindi na po logic na dahil meron tayong Cotabato Trench is talaga magkakaroon ng lindol. But rather, the logic there is, ano yung gagawin mo kapag gumalaw or nagkaroon ng mga ganitong similar instance. So, yan po yung pinapakiusap namin and pinapasalamatan natin yung ating mga local chief executive sa agarang pagbibigay ng aksyon. And then also, we want to commend the citizenry for sustaining and yung matyaga pong nakinig doon sa abiso ng kanilang mga local government units. Para sa ikakabuti natin lahat yan, kung hindi man ninyo na-feel yung malaki talaga in-expect ninyo na alon na tsunami, pero at least that is how nature do its thing and sa atin naman as human being or dwellers, inhabitants, to foresee kung ano yung pwede na gawin natin in terms of preparation. So, yun lang. Stay safe everyone and we are still expecting so much number of aftershocks.